Welcome back everyone to the last video of making chess in Godot 4. And in this video we're going to end this by all the possible left drawing ways. So there's 3 more ways of drawing that we haven't done. Well, technically 4, but the 4th is dead position, which is quite hard to do, so we will not do that. And it's almost impossible to do on the computer. So let's begin first. 50 move rule, which basically means that if no player captured anything or removed their pawn, that means that the game is considered a draw since no player made any progress. So what we're gonna do is go to the bottom of our variables and here create a new variable which will be 50 underscore move underscore rule, which will be equal to 0. And now we simply go to our set underscore move function, and here after the move is made, here we will make 50 underscore move underscore rule to be +1, since we don't know if the move was actually progressive or not. And now what we do is just copy this, go into pawns, and here we're gonna just set it equal to 0. You can copy this now and paste it under -1, since if it's a pawn, that's progress and we want to reset the value. And now we can go after we +1 this, we can do if is enemy, which we have long ago created, and here we do vector2, which will be var2 and var1. And here it's gonna be basically we can paste and reset, since if an enemy is captured, that means that we want to reset it since there was progress made. And now we just go to the bottom, and here where we have our stalemate, we can add after everything we can add another, which will be if 50 move rule equals to 0, then we want to print draw. And of course this needs to be 50 and not 0. So the first way to draw is done. And now another way of drawing is by insufficient material. What this means, if there's only a king left with a bishop or a knight, there's no way to checkmate. The same way that if there's only a king and a king left, there's no way of checkmating, so that is a draw. So what we're gonna do is go to the bottom of our thing and here create a new function, which will be insufficient underscore material. And here we have to create 2 variables local, which will be white underscore pieces, which will be equal to 0, and we can copy paste and name it black pieces. And here we have to create a for loop, which we can just borrow from copy from this, since we need to browse through every single square on the board. And here we are going to match board I and J, and here we are going to check if it is a 2 or a 3, and we're gonna create a case for that if it's a -2 or a -3. Then there's different values that we do not want to do anything with, so if it's a white king, a black king, or an empty square. And for all the left pieces, what you can do for default match value is underscore and then do a colon. So essentially what this is just a 4, a -4, a 1, a -1, a -5, and 5. These are all the values for this default one. And now let's start by going into our 2 and 3 match statement, and here if white underscore pieces are equal to 0, that means that we want to add 1 material, and else if there's more than that, we just return false, since if there's more than 2 white pieces, basically either a bishop and a bishop, a bishop and a knight, and a knight and a knight, that means that if there's 2 of them, it's not insufficient, since you could actually do something with that. And what you can do is just copy this, paste it after this, and here just change white to black. That is all. And now for 6, -6, and 0, we're going to write pass, since that doesn't have any impact. And here, if it's any other piece, which is a rook, a queen, or a pawn, here we can write return false. Since if there's any of them, we want to return that there is material to play on and you have to continue the game. And at the end of this function, here we write return true. Since if none of these actually worked, you just return true because it's insufficient. I just realized that it cannot be white underscore pieces since we actually have this variable already. So let's name it just white underscore piece. So we're gonna just remove the s. And now what we're gonna do is copy this, go to our set under here where we have our 50 move rule. Here we're gonna do if insufficient material. Here we're gonna do print, and here it's gonna be draw. You can either do a if, it doesn't really matter. I will do just print. You can change this and put something on the screen when the player loses and such. And now the third and final way of drawing is by repetition. So if a certain position on the board, basically every single piece, is in the same position 3 times, that means that it's a draw. And what we're gonna do is go to our variables, and here after 50 move rule, here we're gonna create 2 variables, which will be unique underscore board underscore moves, which will be a type of array. And here we're gonna do an empty array, that's quite important for us, and another one which will be amount underscore of underscore same, again array and equal to empty. So this will save all different and unique board positions of all pieces, and this will store how many times the unique position occurred. So now what we do is go once again to the bottom, and here we're gonna do function, which will be threefold, that's the name of it, and then position. And here we're gonna have a local variable, which can be var1, for example, and here it's gonna be array. And now inside, we need to have a for loop, which will be I in unique board names dot size. And now basically this will run for all the unique board moves stored. So at the start, since this is 0, it will not go and make a new position for us. And here what we're gonna do is if our var1 is equal to unique board moves, and here in brackets we do I. Primarily this is our current board position, and it checks to all already made unique board moves. And here if it finds one, then what we do is amount underscore of same, and here it's gonna be I because it's the index, and here we just do +1. And now we check if amount underscore of same, and here I is more or equal to 3, and here if it is, we do print, and here we can just print draw. Now after everything we return, since if there's equal, we do not want to check anything else. But if this runs out and it actually finds that it's a new move position that hasn't been actually made yet, what we do is go out of the for loop, and here do unique underscore board moves, and here you do dot append, and here it's going to be our var1, which is the current position of our board, and here you do duplicate, and in the parentheses it's going to be true, and you do amount of same dot append, and it's going to be 1. If it's a new position, that means that we want to append a new, basically after the next move we will make. If there was no duplicate and it was just appending this, if our var1, which is our board, changed, it would actually change our unique board moves. That's why you need to add duplicate with true, so it doesn't conflict with each other. And here amount underscore of underscore same, we just append 1 since there's one of the unique move and we want to start from 1. Awesome, so this is done. We can copy our newly made function and go to our set underscore move, and here before we display we can just put our newly created function, and in the brackets put board. It's important that you put this after these, since you have to update the board before you actually run this. So this is it. And now let's run the game and see how it goes. If I make some moves, and now we have this position, and what I'm gonna do is just move my king back and forth. And now you can see after I done that, it says draw, since we have actually repeated it 3 times. So that is it. We actually created chess in Godot 4. I am very proud of this work we have done. I hope you followed. I hope you liked the content I made. And this is pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.